Girl, can I tell you something that no one in the online business space wants to say out loud? Most of the content floating around in the digital boutique land is the same content. Same tips, same templates, same advice, recycled so many times it's lost all of its flavor. And the scary part? A lot of us are unknowingly creating that same generic noise and wondering why nothing is landing, why people are just scrolling past, why the downloads aren't converting, why it feels like we are putting in so much work for so little return. Today, I want to talk about that because there's a really big difference between the content that sits on a shelf and the content that actually serves someone. And once you've learned to see that difference, everything about the way you create will shift. Hey gorgeous, welcome back to Glimmer Grace Co. I'm Michelle, and every week I bring you a deep dive into the real work of building a digital boutique that feels as good as it looks. If you're new here, welcome to the circle. We are so glad that you found us. Today, we're doing what I like to call the Quality Audit Masterclass. I want you to think of this as the filter that you put over everything that you create going forward, because not all content is created equal, and your audience feels that, even when they can't articulate it. So let's get into it. Before we can talk about high value content, we have to be honest about what generic noise actually is. And I want to be gentle here because most of us have created it. I've created it. Generic noise is content that is technically correct but emotionally empty. It checks the box without touching a heart. It answers a surface question without addressing the real ones underneath. It sounds like this: 5 tips to grow your Etsy shop, how to make passive income with digital products, why you need an email list. Now, none of those topics are wrong, don't get me wrong. But when the content behind them feels like it could have been written for anyone, by anyone, it loses its power. Shoot, if AI is going to write your content, AI is going to write your scripts and write your products. And what's the point of any of us anymore when it comes to being a human being with thoughts and feelings, right? With a value in a vested income. Because the woman on the other side of your screen is not necessarily looking for information, she can get information anywhere. She's looking for someone who gets her specifically, someone who speaks directly to where she is right now. A generic noise never quite does that. It hits wrong. It just does. For example, like my daughter right now, she's going through the process of having a newborn and learning all the things that it is to have a newborn, the particular quirks that her child has. No one understands that unless you've gone through it yourself with that particular problem. That's what I'm talking about here. Let's get specific about what that woman on the other side of the screen needs from you to create. Okay? So high value content does something different. It makes your reader or your viewer stop and think, how does she know that is exactly what I need right now? It speaks to a specific woman in a specific season with a specific problem. It does not try to reach everyone. It tries to reach her, that one person. And that specificity is what creates the connection that eventually creates a sale. Think about the last piece of content that you consumed that really stayed with you. You thought about it. You're driving, it crosses your mind. You're having coffee with your friend, you share that. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe it's a video, a podcast, a post, a newsletter, whatever it was. I would bet that it felt personal for you. It felt like it was written directly to you. This is not an accident. This is intentional craft. And it's something that every one of us can develop. So how do you actually tell the difference in your own work? Here are 3 questions that I run through every piece of content now. The first one is this: does this speak to a real feeling or just a surface problem? Generic noise addresses the symptom. High value content addresses the emotion underneath the symptom. There's a difference between saying, here's how to organize your files, and saying, I know you're tired of spending 20 minutes hunting for that one Canva template when you have a deadline in an hour. One is a tutorial, the other one's a conversation. The second question is this: would my specific woman feel seen reading this? Not a general woman, my woman. The one who is navigating midlife transitions, the one who's building something quietly while still showing up for her family, the one who wants a soft life but's not afraid to do the real work to get there. If the answer is yes, the content has value. If the answer is maybe someone could relate to this, then this is a signal to go deeper. Don't throw it away. The third question is this: does this content lead somewhere? High value content always has a direction. It's not just information, it's intentional. It moves the reader or the viewer one step closer to a decision, a transformation, an action. Generic noise sits still. High value content walks with her. Now let me show you what this actually looks like when you apply it to your own digital boutique content. Let's say you have a Pinterest pin that reads top tips for digital product sellers. This is generic noise. It is broad, it's vague, and it does not tell her why she should even care. Now let's run it through the audit. Who is she specifically? She's a woman in her 40s or 50s building a digital shop around her expertise. What is she really feeling right now? She's probably feeling overwhelmed, a little invisible, and wondering if her work is even good enough. What does she actually need to hear? That her wisdom is the product. That she already has everything she needs to build something beautiful. So how the pin might read would be something like this: your life experience is your most sellable asset, and here's how to package it. That is the same general topic, but now it has a heartbeat. You're actually speaking to a real person. This is the quality audit in action, and you can apply this to every single piece of content you create from now on. From your pins to your product listings to your email subject lines. Here's the thing about digital products. They live in a very crowded marketplace. There are thousands of planners on Etsy, thousands of templates, thousands of printables, and if you're listing your pins, your social content, all sound like everybody else's, you will be invisible. Not because your products aren't good. You know you've put in the work. But because nothing about your presence tells her why yours is different. High value content is what creates the distinction. It is your voice, your perspective, your specificity that makes someone stop scrolling and think, she gets it. She gets me. And that moment of recognition, that's the beginning of a sale. That is the beginning of a loyal customer. That's the beginning of a community. Now, here's where I want to connect this to something practical for your digital boutique workflow. When your content is high value, it doesn't expire. It just keeps working. A well-written pin from 6 months ago is still driving traffic today. A soulfully crafted product description is still converting in the background while you're living your life. But generic noise has a very short shelf life. It gets a few views, maybe a few saves, and then it disappears into the algorithm forever. When we talk about building a digital boutique that supports a soft life, part of this is being strategic about what you create. It is choosing depth over volume. It's asking, would I be proud of this in a year? Does this reflect the standard of my brand that I'm building? If the answer is yes, publish it by all means. If the answer is not yet, then refine it. Go through it. See what it's missing. That is the quality audit mindset. And it is what separates a digital boutique that lasts from one that burns out. And even for you, am I enjoying the creation process? Am I enjoying what I'm putting out there, or nah? I know some of you are listening to this and you're thinking, Michelle, this sounds like a lot of pressure. Now I have to overthink everything that I put out there. I want to address that directly because that is not what this is at all. The quality audit is not about perfection. It's not about spending 3 days on one caption. It's about developing an instinct, a felt sense for whether your content is actually serving someone or if it's just filling space. And the more you practice it, the faster it gets. Eventually, it becomes second nature. You will write a caption and immediately feel whether it's landed in the right place or not. You will record a video and know in the first 30 seconds whether it's connecting. That instinct is a skill. And like any skill, it develops with practice, not pressure. Please hear this. You do not have to be perfect. You have to be intentional. That is already what you are, or you would not be here. This circle of us women, we know what we have. We know what we're bringing to the whole picture here. Before we wrap up, I want to give you something concrete to walk away with. This week, I want you to pull up 3 pieces of your content that you've already created. A pin, a product listing, a social post, anything really. And run each one through the 3 questions. Does this speak to a real feeling, or is it just a surface problem? Would my specific woman feel seen reading this? Does this content lead somewhere? If you answer yes to all 3, that piece of content is doing its job. Leave it alone. If you find something in yourself hesitating on one of them, then this is your invitation to revisit it. Go one layer deeper, to add a specific detail, the emotional truth, the clear direction, and that will take it from a generic to a genuinely valuable product. You do not have to rewrite everything overnight. Refine one piece this week and notice how it feels different. I promise you will start to feel the difference quickly. It just becomes second nature to you. If this conversation resonated with you today, I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Tell me which of the 3 qualities in the audit questions hit closest to home for you. I do read every single comment, and I want to know where you are in your digital boutique journey. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do that now and give it a like. Every week, we go deep into the real work of building a digital boutique that actually reflects who you are and supports that soft life that you're trying to build now. It is free, and it's one of the best things that you can do for your business this week. If you have a friend who's building her digital shop alongside you, send her this video. This work is better when we do it together. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, find your glimmer, walk in grace. Bye for now.